Yo, what up guys, I am back with another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk about my experiences with the iPad Air and how my thoughts have been changed on the iPad Air. But before we begin, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing to stay up to date when I drop new videos every single week. Now, I've had a couple weeks to play with the iPad Air, and I have to say that my initial thoughts are different. I have to say that this iPad has changed my mind. The one thing I will say is that why didn't it put the M1 chip in this iPad sooner is besides me. I literally think that this is the best iPad for most people. I do think that the iPad mini is certainly a niche device, but I've got to give it to this iPad Air. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel, you will notice that I did an unboxing of the previous Air a couple months back when it came out. I wasn't really feeling the iPad Air because I felt like there was just a lot of concessions made with that iPad Air. Granted, it was great when it came out, but personally, I didn't feel like I would choose that over the Pro at the time. But with the release of this brand new iPad Air 5, I have to say that my thoughts on it have changed. The first thing I have to commend Apple about is finally trying new colors when it comes to this iPad. I love this blue color. I think that this blue color is something else. Now, we are given the fingerprint scanner, which is pretty good, and on the other corner here we are greeted with a USB-C. Now, what I will say about this iPad first and foremost is that it is fast. As soon as I unboxed it, I noticed how zippy it was. I noticed that things seemed to move a lot faster. You know, while I would have preferred Face ID, I really was comfortable and satisfied with Touch ID. Now, I understand with a device like this, you have to make some concessions around the offering. I think that for most people, the fingerprint scanner is a great, it's a great feature on an iPad, and I understand why they would need to keep it on an iPad like this. But I do really think that what's really changed this iPad for me has been the experience, and the experience has been partly due to the M1 chip involved in this iPad. Now, the iPad itself, obviously not much has changed. It still looks like an iPad, it still feels like an iPad, but I will say that the corners are a pleasure. It's a pleasure to hold this iPad. It's a pleasure to actually sit and read and use this iPad. I didn't realize how comfortable this particular one would be. Now, another really cool thing about this iPad is actually the speaker. The speaker on this iPad is incredible. Now, outside of the iPad Pros, you are greeted with two speakers here, which sound amazing. There are 4 different speaker grills, but it's my understanding that 2 are really what you're gonna get the sound out of. The only gripe that you will find in this particular iPad might be the storage size. The iPad Air does only come in 2 storage sizes, the 64 and the 256 gig. And now the 256 gig comes in at $749, and actually I think it's the model that most people will get when they pick up this iPad. Again, it does feature the smart connector feature on here, which I think is great that Apple included. And that's pretty much my experience with this iPad Air. Between the iPad mini and the iPad Air, I don't think you can go wrong. My preference continues to be the smaller iPad because of what value brings to my productivity in my life, but I can certainly see this iPad changing a lot of people's minds in terms of portable computing. This iPad has made me believe that you literally can have this as your secondary computer, and that's pretty much it. Camera is obviously an iPad camera, so you're getting the same 12 megapixel cameras on the back, and yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I just figured I'd follow up and do the iPad Air justice because I am thoroughly impressed by it, and I cannot recommend this iPad enough. If you guys are new to my channel, I would highly appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching, and until my next video, peace.